going to invite us to take a moment and take a deep breath and come together as a community for this vigil tonight. I know that we are excited to be together after so many months of not being together, and I wish that it was under different circumstances that we were gathered here tonight as a community. My name is Rev Dr Jennifer Strickland, and I am honored to stand before you tonight as a proud Asian American. Like every Asian woman in America, I've had a hard time sleeping or thinking clearly since Wednesday morning when my husband told me about the Atlanta shooting while I was brushing my teeth. 8 people have died, he said. 6 of them were Asian women, he said. I froze, letting that information sink in. I had the mental image of my spirit collapsing to the ground, curling into the fetal position, and just shaking with fear and disbelief. Let us hear their names now. Xiaojia Tan, age 49, Delania Yang, age 33, Paul Andre Mickles, age 54, Dao Yu Feng, age 44, Soon Chung Park, age 74, Hyun Jung Grant, age 51, Soon Cha Kim, age 69, and Young A.U., age 63. These victims were working to support their families. They were women with children and grandchildren who are now grieving an unimaginable loss. They were putting in 12-hour days at nail salons, massage parlors, and day spas, working to provide relaxation and comfort to the people in their communities who could afford such luxuries. They were entrepreneurs. They were business owners. They were women with dreams and plans and hopes for their futures. We also lost a newlywed bride who was enjoying a couple's massage with her husband, looking forward to their lives together. And tonight we also continue to pray for the recovery of Alcias Hernandez Ortiz, the sole survivor who is still fighting for his life. And because one sick young man with a warped fetishization of Asian women as sex objects had access to a gun, their lives were ended in an instant. He was not just having a bad day. He is not just mentally ill or a sex addict. Having a bad day does not lead to a mass shooting, but white supremacy and racism do. We need to call this what it is: a terrorist who has committed a hate crime against Asian women. Our healing cannot begin until we can acknowledge this as a community and as a country. The true mental illness of our nation is that we have long justified killing innocent people for simply being themselves in the world. I cannot help but think of my mother, who has gone by the name Kim Strickland for nearly 5 decades. Her real name is Chung Sun Kim, and she immigrated here when she was 16 years old on a student visa, equipped with only a few words of English and a dream of having a career. America is a place where women can thrive, someone had told her. And so she packed one small suitcase and left behind her parents, 3 sisters and 2 brothers, promising to help them join her in the United States if indeed it proved to be a place where women could thrive. A few weeks ago, she showed me a tiny, plain gray purse the size of a dish sponge that fits across her body with a strap. My friends and I are all scared of being attacked, she told me. They say Asian women are easily identified by their designer handbags, so I bought this to avoid being a target. I will only carry my cell phone, 1 credit card, and my keys from now on, she said, as she examined the tiny zipper. My mother, who has never owned a designer handbag in her life. She said, I am going to start wearing a hat and sunglasses when I run errands, and of course my face mask. Do you think I will still look like an Asian woman? The absurdity of that conversation floored me. The fact that my mother would feel the need to disguise herself from what she is, who she is, a beautiful, powerful, resilient Asian woman, was devastating and sobered me to the reality of what it means to be an Asian in America right now. America, a place where women, Asian women, are supposed to be able to thrive. Sadly, this is nothing new. You are here tonight because you know that this is nothing new. From the massacres of Chinese people in 1871 and 1885, to the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, to the Japanese-American internment camps of World War II, racism against Asians is another deep-rooted sin that needs to be pulled out from the soil of our society if we are ever going to heal and grow. I Zoomed with my cousins last night, all of them brilliant, accomplished, thoughtful Korean women, and I heard stories that they had never shared with me before. One of them, a corporate lawyer in Manhattan, talked about how her law firm hosts a daily buffet that is themed by different countries' cuisines. The theme of the day is posted on the company's internal website. She said they have Mexican Food Day, Italian Food Day, Greek Food Day, Indian Food Day, German Food Day, even an Irish Food Day recently for St. Patrick's Day. But then there is Asian Day, which consists of fried and white rice, pot stickers, and a chicken entree. Should I say something? She asked out loud. Should I tell a multi-billion-dollar company that employs 250,000 people around the world that Asia is a continent, not a country, and that the food they are serving is an Americanized version of Chinese food? These are the questions that we Asian Americans wrestle with on a daily basis, in our places of work, in our communities, in our schools, and on the streets. Should I say something? Will anyone listen? Will anyone understand why this even bothers me? Will my voice be heard? Speaking of our voices being heard, another cousin who is a pulmonary fellow currently working in a COVID wing in Boston said a patient told her he couldn't understand her because of her thick accent. She stared at him for several seconds in confusion and then asked, "Do you mean my thick Midwestern accent? Because I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio." In the past year, all of my cousins have had people shout at them on the streets to go back to China. Reminder, they are all Korean, born and raised in the United States, in the Midwest, and Connecticut, and Arizona, and Virginia. This happened to a friend while walking her kindergartner to school just a few days ago. And I don't think I need to explain that this particular form of racism illustrates the fact that too many Caucasian people see Asian women as looking all the same and cannot and choose not to even differentiate their ethnicities, their heritages, their cultures, or their stories. It is a way of making us disappear. It is a way of taking away our human identity. My friend Jamie, an amazing PR consultant in Los Angeles who is Thai, told me a few years ago a stranger yelled to her and her mother at a gas station, Ching Chong, go home to your country." Go home to what country, she wondered. This is my home country. This is my hometown. I was born in LA. All of the Asian women I know and love have been told that their English is very good, even if English is their native and/or only language. All of us have been asked more times than we can count, "Where are you from?" No, where are you really from? What are you? Another cousin told me that she had to change her daily farewell to her husband this last year as they leave for work from "have a good day" to "I love you, please stay safe." It would be easy to point fingers at Donald Trump and the hateful, racist rhetoric that he used ad nauseum during the pandemic, including calling COVID-19 the Wuhan virus, the Chinese virus, and the Kung flu. We know that he weaponized the virus in order to divert attention away from the fact that he was withholding critical information about the deadliness and the dangers of it, and also to distract our nation from seeing how poorly his administration was handling the containment of its spread. Nonetheless, the damage continues to ripple out, and anti-Asian hate crimes have increased by 150% in the last year. But we cannot simply blame the nightmare that was the Trump administration for this uptick in violence against Asian Americans, because as I said, this has been happening since our country was born. But it ends now. Are you with me? Woo! It ends now. So what can we do? What will we do? In a moment, I'm going to turn this microphone over to my colleagues and friends who are here tonight, who will certainly have more ideas to share with you. But I will leave you with a few invitations of how you specifically can double down on your commitment tonight to be an ally for Asians in America. Number 1, hold racism accountable when you see it in action. Stop whatever you're doing when you hear someone harassing or making a joke about an Asian person and explain to them why it is wrong and demand that they stop. Call it what it is: racist, inappropriate, dangerous, ignorant, unethical, morally wrong. Each of you gathered here tonight has your own network of friends, acquaintances, co-workers, and family members. You each have your own social media accounts and your own personal platforms, however large or small. When you see anti-Asian sentiments, do not ignore them. Do not let racist rhetoric go unchecked. Speak up and speak out. Your voice is desperately needed in addition to ours. We need all of our white, Black, Indigenous, and Latinx allies to partner with us here. Do not leave us to defend ourselves, because it is exhausting. Learn to report anti-Asian violence to groups and like Stop AAPI Hate. Number 2, get to know individuals before asking them about their ethnicity. Chances are, if you befriend them, they will eventually and naturally share with you their rich cultural heritage and ethnic history. Number 3, support Asian Americans by shopping at their businesses, donating to organizations that support Asian American advancement and provide advocacy and visibility for our community, such as the Center for Asian Pacific American Women. If there's a language barrier, a bow, a thumbs up, a smile, or an elbow bump goes a long way. Number 4, ask the Asian Americans in your life how they are doing, how they are feeling, how you can support them. If they don't give you specific ways to support them, I always strongly recommend that you default to baking them a batch of delicious cookies and writing them a note of your support. Ask them about their lives, ask them about their experiences, and listen to their stories. Number 5, contact your local elected officials and tell them how critical it is to prosecute crimes of racial violence. Help your friends and family members who live in places outside of California to do the same. Number 6, use your body to protect Asian Americans who feel very vulnerable right now, especially the elderly and especially women. Use your eyes to see the world from an Asian American's perspective, and use your words to defend, empower, and celebrate us. We really need the encouragement. Number 7, educate yourself on the history of anti-Asian racism in the United States. This can be done through news articles, books, movies, and documentaries. Read books by Asian American and Pacific Islander authors. Watch movies and television shows that star, not just feature, but star Asian actors. Make their faces familiar to your eyes, and I promise you, they will all look very different. I'll be posting all of those resources on my social media pages. Listen, my friends, our gathering here tonight is proof that hope is alive and justice is burning and breaking forth like a light in the darkest of nights. I have hope that America can still be a place where women, especially Asian women, can thrive. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your ongoing support.